I think my work comes from imagination and memory. So it's really the way I look at landscape, some of it, and it's looking at it and down and up and it's round, underwater, through, all those things are part of what my work is about. It's certainly not just looking straight at things.
Your studio looks just as used and vibrant as ever.
Well, I remember when I first had this studio, Channy Coventry said, "Go and buy yourself a studio," and because I was always renting and spaces, and so that was in the 80s. But I would battle with paintings. They were oil painting, blowtorch, and putting on paint and taking it off and all those things. Now, I don't need to do that.
Yes.
That's been done, but it's groundwork, and it's also how you become an artist of who's covered a bit of ground. I know what I wanted to talk about, creativity really, which is what it's really about, and how, where does that come from? It's something it's still a question, I can't just say, oh yes, I'm a creative artist and I do this. I don't know what creativity is, and I'm trying to find out. That's what I've been doing all my life. It's that possibility of taking yourself further and going into that other, I call it. It's a space which I can go into when I'm painting, but it takes you, and then that's why if I have a painting that I can change, it starts to give me a direction, and then it starts to do itself. And if you can allow that and not say, oh, I've got a good idea and I'm going to paint that idea or I'm going to paint that, it's something that all artists, musicians, dancers, writers know about but don't quite understand, I think. And that's why I like to look back at children and Aboriginal rock art, and it's just so elegantly comes from itself. And I've had conversations with young artists and musicians, and they say, I can't get started, And of course you can't at first. It's always hard. You just got to get going and do it. Do it wrong even would help. I always turn off the music too. I just don't want anything else. I know when I'm getting into that space, now.
That's interesting. Do it wrong. I like that. I'm going to make an Instagram tile of that.
Yes. Because you can change things. I mean, I know now that I can put something down, but it's not permanent. That can go and something else can come, and I just really began to understand that fairly recently. Nothing's going to there's nothing that can't be, it can be thrown away, of course, or changed, But I think when you've been painting all your life, you can drop onto it and it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do it with my left hand with my eyes closed. I mean, it's just, you can overcome all those things. But I no longer say I want to paint the biggest painting I've ever done, which was probably 5 metres by 4.5 metres on scaffolding.
Wow.
Or the biggest sculpture I've ever made, which was 11 metres that I did for World Expo.
That's right.
So I've had those achievements. Now it's an achievement to keep going.
Yes.
But now that I'm not quite 90, I'm in my 90th year.